le amogetswe ko Royal Bafokeng Nation. A community with eyes focused firmly on the future. A sustainable future for the Bafokeng people and all who call it their home. Under the guidance and vision of Kgotsi Leruo Molotlehi, we are embarking on an ambitious journey. Laid out in the master plan to provide a brighter future for all within the Royal Bafokeng Nation. Through the development of infrastructure and sustainable urban planning, we can provide an urban center that serves as a hub for commercial and industrial opportunities, as well as the rich art and cultural heritage of the Bafokeng. An integrated neighborhood with commercial areas that give local entrepreneurs space to grow their businesses. First-class medical treatment accessible to everyone. And quality education that will empower future leaders. Located in the middle of the most abundant source of platinum in the world, the Bafokeng Nation is uniquely positioned to build long-term industrial development with an industrial park that supplies local mines, manufacturing industries, and tradable services that go beyond mining. An entirely integrated livestock and aquaculture value chain with centrally managed marketing, processing, and transport. With this vision in mind, proper implementation is imperative to ensure the prosperity of our natural environment by providing access to a secure supply of water and appropriate sewerage systems and renewable energy to power local industries. We can achieve this vision. Addressing the most immediate needs and developing economically viable areas within the RBN over the next 5 to 10 years.
Importantly, the Bafokeng are one of the few indigenous communities in South Africa that own the land they occupied historically. In the 1920s, prospectors discovered that beneath their 1,200 square kilometer tract of land lay the world's richest deposit of platinum group metals.
The battle by Bafokeng to protect their land even intensified after the discovery of the Merensky platinum reef. I mean, in 1925, that was when the first agreement was signed between Bafokeng and Anglo Platinum then. But that agreement, no sooner was it signed than it was in court challenging the terms of those agreement, and Bafokeng won litigation in the High Court in Pretoria. And it went on and on and on until quite recently, when the dispute between Impala and Bafokeng was settled in 1999. It is history now that the Bafokeng are the major shareholders of Impala Platinum, which is a 120–140 billion rands company.
The Royal Bafokeng Nation is an expanding community with an innovative plan for socio-economic development in the mining and agricultural context. Kgotsi Leruo Molotlehi, an architect by profession, was research leader into urban expansion in countries such as the USA, China, Dubai and Singapore. This led to the appointment of Surbana, a Singaporean company entrusted with designing a complete master plan. The master plan complements the growing needs of the Northwest Province. This opens up vast opportunities for investors in the areas of housing, education, infrastructure, sport and tourism. The master plan is aimed at the planned expansion of the RBN.
The master plan will bring about a new order to the Bafokeng region. There's not only a plan of how we structure and optimize the land we live on, but also how we will organize ourselves to administer every square foot thereof. Our primary objective is to establish a world-class infrastructure, a highly developed service industry, an effective education and health system, and ultimately become a destination of note.
The entire Northwest Province has a high potential for tourism development, including cultural villages, hotels that also offer hiking routes, art galleries, as well as music and drama studios. The master plan is a product of the Bafokeng people's input at Hota Hote and serves as a long-term investment opportunity for shareholders in various sectors leading up to 2010 and beyond.
The resource we currently depend on, platinum, is a wasting asset. The master plan looks beyond a single resource commodity-based economy to move to a diversified economy underpinned by knowledge. We will develop and attract the best minds in engineering, finance, education, health to build our region. Most importantly though, we will create an attractive environment in which all who live, work and play will be safe and secure.
Investment in the master plan will help support the Bafokeng community's economic growth and quality of life, with benefits for adjoining communities and the country as a whole. Royal Bafokeng Holdings is charged with implementing an investment strategy that creates a balanced portfolio of financial assets.
The provision of quality housing should not be the responsibility of the government alone. Private companies can also play a role to assist by providing housing for their employees. The South African economy is largely built on the mining industry. Now, the Northwest Province is particularly well endowed with platinum. To show how important this is to our economy, the Royal Bafokeng Platinum Company employs 7,400 people. One of the key challenges facing South African mining houses today is the provision of quality accommodation for their miners. Recognizing that for employees to be highly productive, they need their well-being taken care of, the Royal Bafokeng Platinum Company engaged in robust discussions with its miners and their union representatives to create one of the most stellar housing projects in the country. Let me start by asking, how did this come about, this project?
It was really a product of a wage negotiations. Normally part of the demands is on housing. In a nutshell, is positioning the external funders to say, these are the guys who will borrow money from, which I call developmental funding institutes. And the position of this new entity that we would create, which almost is an internal bank, Royal Bafokeng Resources Properties. The position of the mining company, Royal Bafokeng Platinum, the union and its employees. And this is each one's contribution. Essentially, Royal Bafokeng Resources Properties was then created as a bank, an in-house bank. So that means we can borrow to somebody who would otherwise not have access to commercial banks.
I look at the houses here, it's quite a specific design. How did you get to the house model, now to get to the nitty-gritty, so to speak?
So there's essentially 4 variations or categories of employees that we wanted to cater for. So per category, as you will see around you, there's different variations there. But each one of these plans is signed off by the union. So none of these things is done without co-consultation.
How big do you envision this to be when you are done?
We foresee 3,400 housing units. The majority of those would be obviously the 80 square meters. The ones that we are looking at here, there would be 623 of those 92 of the managerial type houses, and 12 of those who run businesses, who head up businesses.
Could you take us through all the other technological aspects of the project? What most think is making it a bit futuristic?
In here, every house to have fiber optic cables connected to it. Everywhere you are on this estate, cameras all over the estate so that we can track and monitor and link it to the national traffic information systems. Linked to this is an app where you can real-time check your consumption of water, check consumption of electricity, top up if you need to top up. We're also looking at recycling water, creating a water in collaboration with the municipality We have land set aside for a mall, but we will not sell the land, but rather equitize it so that these homeowners and mine workers have a stake in the mall.
The Royal Bafokeng Nation to me is a land filled with opportunity and the potential to become a well-developed, sustainable area.
King is actually somebody who takes a very active involvement in the management of all the institutions that we have. Having a leader who has a vision but can also communicate that vision, who can motivate people to follow him on that path, has been quite a profound thing for me to witness while I've been here.
I mean, we're exposed to leaders who are actually good, who are well valued, who have good morals, as opposed to the rest of the country, I would say, and the rest of the continent, as there are struggles here and there with leadership.
The school has the concept of producing well-rounded students, so they use the holistic approach. We do many cultural activities and sport is compulsory. You're constantly being encouraged to be a leader, and people see potential within you and potential within every being, and you form an essential part of society. I'd like to go study international law and politics and then open up my own law firm, and then I'd like to start my own political party.
I'd like to study mechatronics. It's always been a dream of mine. I'd like to program and make my own robots and my own machines. I'd like to go outside and explore and also get some experience, and then later come back and start my own robotics company here, where people around will be able to be a part of it, and hopefully we'll take technology to another level.
Two hours west of Johannesburg, just outside the town of Rustenburg in the Northwest Province, lies the Royal Bafokeng Stadium in a village called Bafokeng. This is one of the 2010 Soccer World Cup stadiums. It is the only one outside of a major South African city and the only one that is owned by a rural African community. How, you ask? Did the stadium get to be here?
someone you can lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
Royal Bafokeng Sports is one of the companies that was established by Royal Bafokeng Holdings as a holding company, basically to try and address the vision of the Bafokeng 2020, and sports was identified as one of the integral part of this development. The commercial elements of Royal Bafokeng Sports includes the Royal Bafokeng Stadium, it includes the Royal Bafokeng Sports Campus.
My name is Makutano. I'm from the Royal Bafokeng Nation, which is in South Africa. Right now I'm in Los Angeles, in the All-Star Basketball Without Borders Global Camp. For me, when they told me that I'm coming to Los Angeles, it came as a shock, but then again, I was privileged to be here. I'm here to learn a lot. They prepared me there in Royal Bafokeng. On Saturdays, I normally go to Royal Bafokeng to practice there with my coaches, Coach Junior, Coach Johnny, even Coach Frank was also there. All of them, they prepared me a lot. To be where I am right now, I can run and I can dribble because I worked a lot to get there. It's been awesome. Well, we've been to Staples Center, NBA players, celebrities playing. So I got to explore Los Angeles a bit. I just want to encourage them because I know when our coaches always talked about practice, we used to get annoyed and all of that, but it's worth it. To practice makes you better, and you just work hard because all your hard work will pay. Basketball will take care of you.
Welcome to Royal Marang Hotel, where royalty is personified. We are situated in Rustenburg, only 25 kilometers away from Sun City. Royal Marang Hotel was built in 2010 for the World Cup, where we also hosted the English team. We have 68 rooms in total, 64 deluxe rooms, and 4 presidential suites. The Royal Marang Hotel also hosts a number of events and conferences, with conference space that can host up to 300 delegates. Our restaurant can also seat up to 150 people and serves buffet and a la carte. Our pool area is open to all in-house guests for those hot summer days. Are you a fitness junkie? Well, we have you covered. You can take advantage of our gymnasium, which has world-class training equipment, hot pool, sauna, steam room, and ice bar.
name is Tabam Mokoti. I'm a farmer from Mabitse village in Bafokeng.
My ancestors knew this land was fertile, so they decided to settle here and to take the name Bafokeng, people of the dew.
As a village boy, I've realized that in our homes, the lunch that we have, the supper or the dinner that we have is always pap and there's meat, but we never see the healthy part of the meal, which is vegetables.
I want to change this and try to encourage all the guys working on my farm and the entire Mabitse village.
I wanted to help the people to live a healthy lifestyle.
So what I'm doing today is I've called all my workers back to the farm on their 1 day off.
Okay, thank you. Sure. All right.
I wasn't sure why she wanted us to come on a day off. I don't like working on Sundays.
Hopefully, they won't be upset after they see the surprise that I have for them. Lynn is a friend of mine. She's a gourmet chef from Pretoria. She's here to treat all the Malde fresh produce workers on a special Sunday treat with all ingredients prepared right here on this farm. Bagolo ba me ka tseno a ka lebiletsa gore re tlo kopana fa re tlo tshwara meeting. Ke rata go leboga matsogo a lona le botho ba lona ba gore re introduce culture ele ya rona ya a healthy living. Ke matsogo a lona otlhe a re tlo a tjang fa ka tseno, and then ke rata gore le rotloetse le ba bang a re tjeng.
Wow!
Cheers!
Yes, yes.
I want to help people realize that the vegetables at their fingertips are the means to health, nutrition, and happiness.
I work with vegetables every day, but I never knew it tasted so good like this.
I wanted to show people how simple it is to be healthy.
Hopefully, we can do that by firstly showing them just how delicious a healthy meal can be.
The family is healthy because they eat healthy fruits. Now I make beetroot salad and cabbage and potato because it's easy.
Makes me feel warm inside that I see people from Mabitse village living a healthy lifestyle.